Hi, Mr. Romney. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me today. I know you're busy. Just again, appreciate the opportunity to come to you talk about my business ideas. Um, First off, Zebo's training, it's athletic training facility for middle school and high school age kids. So parents, they want the best for their children. If you think about your children, what you want for them, especially the ones that are involved in sports, you want them to be successful in sports, in their studies, but also more importantly in life. So the problem that parents have is juggling the sports, the academics, trying to teach them, mentor them, things like that. This facility would incorporate all three of those into one location that would be easy to get that service for their children. So not only is it an athletic training facility, but it also offers academic tutoring and also the opportunity for these kids to be mentored, to be coached in their life, to learn how to grow, to learn how to overcome hard things. And so while doing the research for this business, I started out with some assumptions, and I'm going to show you a little bit kind of where I started and where I've ended up overall. So this is where I initially started with key partners, bank partnerships, school partnerships, community support. I knew obviously I'd have to do athletic training, some motivational training, personal training, key customer relationships, some personal assistance, community relationships. The channels that I was going to market and also provide the service was through the complex itself, maybe through some social media and other athletic programs. My customer segments were parents, athletes, and some of the communities. Majority of my costs, I assume, would come from my facility, my faculty, and maybe some transportation for the kids. And then the revenue would come from monthly subscriptions. What I ended with, though, I added some key partners would be an equipment company, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. High school coaches, they have a large influence in their communities. Partnership with a marketing firm. I added some key activities, developing a YouTube channel. Some of my key resources, I added and I'll talk about those key resources a little bit later. My customer relationships, I added the parents would be influential. The channels, by doing my studies, I was able to add a couple of those. Some more cost structure I added, and I'll talk about that later, as well as the revenue. But this is where I ended up at the end with all of my assumptions. I went out and tested those theories, and this is what my business model canvas looks like at the end. To start out, I have it on my whiteboard, but I know it's a little bit difficult to see on the video here, but this is my minimum viable product. So there'd be a tutoring area, not super large, some offices where a lot of the management would happen. The main area would be this area for training, agility, and speed, where I would be focusing on plyometrics, explosiveness, and again, some additional strength training. And the weights here would be focused around gaining strength, some high intensity workouts, as well as heavy lifting to improve the strength of the athletes. And this is what the facility would look like. It would be inside of a warehouse, essentially. So now let's move back to my whiteboard here. So again, I have my minimal viable product here outlined. The market, it would be a resegmented market. There are existing markets of training, but not really quite a facility that incorporates all of them into one. So it's going to be resegmented. I'd be focusing my efforts in the Colleyville, Southlake area. My servable available market is a little over 1,114,000. And my target market would be around 267,000 people. Those are my target is based on families that earn a high level of income. So the key people we would be serving would be the parents. Again, they're busy. They have a hard time finding the time and the opportunity to help their kids be successful. And also the teenagers is who we're going to be serving. That's another customer archetype. They're stressed. They're looking for a mentor. They want to be successful, and they want to go somewhere in life. And this facility would offer that. My early evangelist would be, I have some current clients that I do some training for. So it would be those parents and those clients that I have right now that would really be able to help me market this facility and the benefit of it. And I've also done a lot of teaching in children. I've taught a lot of children. I've done a lot of teaching in my church with youth programs. And those people that have seen me in those environments would also be able to attest to my ability to mentor and to teach kids. I'm sure you're asking, okay, what if we give you the funding and you have your idea of the facility, how you want to lay out? What's step one? Step one, I would want to start marketing early. Social media marketing, doing some print marketing, going to the schools and doing some in-person marketing as well. Next, I would need to set up the warehouse. I have a location picked out off of South Lake Boulevard that's going to work for our minimal viable product, and set that up, buy the equipment, get everything set up so we're ready to go. And then I would start the hiring process of the tutors and the trainers, as well as my front desk staff who will be doing the sales for me. Some of the key resources and partnerships that would be involved in this process, we would obviously need investors like yourself. I have a couple of other investors lined up to help us get off the ground. Now, a key partnership is with an equipment provider that's Global Equipment, and the arrangement we would have is I would put their sign outside of our building, or their logo outside of our building on all of our equipment, on some of our products for free marketing, and in return they would give us a 20% discount on all of our equipment. So that helped us save a lot of costs. The professional trainers, I have budgeted to pay them about $30,000 a year to $35,000, depending on their experience. We would want professional trainers. High school coaches would be a huge partnership. I know several high school coaches in the area, and they obviously know other high school coaches, and they would be able to, I've already talked to them. They've agreed to have me come in and present to the parents and also to the students on our product here. And another partnership that I didn't think about more until the end of my research was marketing consultants. I mean, I understand a lot of marketing, but it would be great from time to time to explore other solutions to some marketing problems that I know we'll run into. Some of the main opportunities that we have, in-home training is something that came up when I was doing my research. A lot of people talked about how personal trainers will come to their home and offer training that way. That's an option. That's an opportunity for the future. And also an online YouTube channel, and have people pay subscriptions for training videos, and that would be another source of revenue as well. And then also service opportunities. That will be us going out into the community with these kids and teaching them how to serve, how to help other people, and really help them grow as adults. The main marketing, like I talked about up here when I start marketing, is going to be a lot of social media marketing. I'm going to be doing a lot of backlinking on school websites, other athletic equipment websites, and things like that. And a lot of it will be from word of mouth, and also a little bit of print marketing. We're not going to start doing TV or radio. It's too expensive, and for what we're doing, it won't make as much sense. That's how we're going to get our clients. To keep our clients, I really want to focus on that mentoring aspect and helping the parents see the value. I want them to be able to see the changes in their students athletically, academically, and also their attitude at the house through our mentoring and helping them be more responsible. That's really going to be what is going to help us keep our clients, as well as offering returning discounts for people that return and reuse our service. Then to grow, I want to, on our website and also on YouTube, I want to post videos and testimonials of different students that have been using the service, and also for tutoring purposes as well. Now, some of the main weaknesses that we have, and I'll go through that. I'll show you a handout that I have for that. I just want to cover with you the kind of the weaknesses and strengths of the facility, just to be honest and upfront with you. Then also I did a mock income statement of the first year based on my projections of sales and costs, and I wanted to show you that as well. So I'll go through with you really quick the strengths and weaknesses. So for our key partners, one of the strengths is the partners are going to be very accessible. Problem is, I don't have a ton of connections for investors, but I do have a lot of connections when it comes to coaches. One of the strengths for the key activities is I can hire and outsource most of those things. But then again, the quality, one of the weaknesses is the quality will be dependent on those other people. The value proposition, a huge strength that we have, is that it's going to be individual attention for students. And one of the weaknesses that comes with that value is obviously it's a higher cost as well. Now with the key resources, one of the weaknesses is it's going to be a little bit expensive for the trainers and also the equipment up front, as well as the rents for the warehouse. But one of the strengths is I don't need a ton of resources to get this off the ground. The cost structure, some of the strengths are that the fixed costs will diminish after the first year. I mean, after we have the equipment and we have the facility, it's really going to be maintenance after that point. And then another weakness is kind of the strength. It's really capital intensive. I do need the facility up front and things like that. The customer relationships, some of the strengths, it's going to really allow for repeat business if we can develop those relationships with the parents and the kids. And then a weakness is some of the parents will find other options and maybe even do some of the trainings themselves. One of the main strengths for the revenue is it's going to be consistent across the board. It's going to be monthly revenue, very predictable. And then some of the weaknesses is that the membership fees right now are the only source and the only opportunity to make that money. The channels, so using the opportunities for the YouTube channel, but specifically the warehouse, it's going to be very personalized. There's not going to be a lot of competition for using weight equipment and things like that. But one of the weaknesses, it'll be time consuming. And for the customer segments, huge strength is a large variety of target customers, large age group, middle school to high school, and we can also involve some adults in the training with their kids. And then some of the weaknesses is that it involves a lot of young children, and they don't personally have the money to be making these purchases. It's their parents that do, unfortunately. And now the last thing that I want to show you is a mock income statement. So this is based on the costs that I have set out for the trainers. $30,000 a year, 3 trainers at the beginning, 4 tutors at the beginning. I'm going to pay them $12 an hour and get the tutors from college campuses to come in and help tutor these kids. Some of the other costs are electricity maintenance, the weights, rent, training equipment, desks, marketing, study materials. Revenues are going to come mostly from, I'm going to have a package available for just the training, for just tutoring, and both, and also the online subscriptions for the YouTube channel. And then, so I projected revenues of $432,000 the first year, and cost of the goods sold would bring us to a gross profit of $284,000. And after calculating other expenses, our net income after taxes would be $249,772 with a 58% net income profit margin. So there is a lot of opportunity to make money in this business, and especially because the business is scalable, where we can increase the amount of people that we have, as well as increase the amount of locations that we have. So I really appreciate the time. If you have any questions for me, please ask. But yeah, I'd love to get this off the ground as soon as we can and get everything put into place. Thank you.